Have you ever looked at some of those people who make it all happen so effortlessly? They get so much done in a week or a month and seem to truly enjoy their work. And the most mysterious of all, they're not stressed. I used to wonder too. And here is what I found out. They spend quite some time in the flow state. And every high achiever can unlock the flow state to make work effortless and create impact more effectively and really enjoy it because of the neurochemistry happening in the body. Huge topic, so I will talk about it separately. I've spent hundreds of hours studying the flow state, how to get into it, and what blocks us from accessing the flow state. Today I want to tell you about 3 flow blockers. There are of course more than 3, but we want transformation, not just information. So let's slow down for a moment and look closer at the first 3. You can come back later and watch another video about the next ones once you have taken care of these 3. Do we have a deal? Cool. I guarantee that you will remove these blocks very fast if you put your mind to it. When I started my adventure with the flow state a couple of years ago, these were game changers for me. So let's dive in. Flow blocker number 1, exhaustion. In the past 5 years, I have worked with over 100 high achievers. Unfortunately, I don't recall many who didn't have work to do in this area. The exhaustion level varied from I had to work on the weekend to I slept only 2 hours again to I'm reaching a burnout. When I was in the state of exhaustion, some friends told me I looked like a zombie. I felt tired, but did nothing about it. High achievers' problem is that their super high resilience gets them going. They push through. This strategy, unfortunately, is not helpful here. You need to be rested to get into the flow. Active recovery is one of the 4 phases of the flow cycle for a reason. So now, let's see if this is where you might want to do some work. If I asked you to assess yourself on a scale 1 to 10, where 1 means total exhaustion and 10 I am well rested. Where are you now? You might not notice that you are tired. So watch yourself over the next few days and be honest with yourself. If you're under 5 on the scale, take the Peak Performance Formula Scorecard. It will suggest an array of quick fixes you could put in place to improve your state. I link it under this video. If you're higher on the scale, what practices help you stay away from exhaustion? Please share with us. Someone might need this tip. Flow blockers number 2, distractions. This is a huge topic in our super busy, permanently on culture. Let's look at an example of the distractions coming from the outside. Many companies believe that instant messaging software speeds up communication and increases productivity. Very often the opposite is true. Usually, because leaders don't communicate clear rules and expectations around using such software. As a result, the software bombards you with constant notifications and you feel you must be available and respond immediately to every message, don't you? Yeah, I know. Some bosses actually verbalize this expectation. And if they do, you want to be brave and have a conversation about your work priorities. Oh wait, are you the boss who expects such availability from your team? Be brave and encourage them to block their own focus time for their most important work. And watch this space for more insights into high flow leadership. They will make your life easier, I promise. Let's get back to our interruptions and assess what such an interruption causes. First, jumping from one thing to another costs attention and productivity. Your mind needs time to switch between topics. See the video about attention residue, it will be linked for you below. Second, this switching attention costs energy and adds to the exhaustion. What we talked before. Third, every task needs longer than it would if you did it in one go. So you have to work longer to catch up, or you opt for working at night when it's peaceful and quiet so nobody disturbs you. Sounds familiar? Would you like to remove this flow blocker? This is how you do that. Start with blocking the focus time on your calendar. If needed, have a conversation with your boss about why you will do that. Morning time, when you are still fresh, is usually the best. Start with 90 minutes and add more time as you go. What works for me is 3-hour blocks. I take 90 minutes, then a short break to move a bit, and then again 90 minutes. Experiment with what works best for you and let me know how much time you will block to start with in the comments below. Now, let's also talk about self-inflicted distractions. These are also obliterating your access to flow. Check the notifications section on your phone. Do you get info about new messages, emails, invitations, meetings, stuff added to the shop, or posts added to social media, any others? How about you join me for a week in the dark mode? Switch off all the notifications on the phone, maybe except for food deliveries so you don't go hungry. Yeah, you will be anxious for the first 2 days, but after the painful time with FOMO, you will realize how free you feel. Are you in? Great! Let's move on then. Flow blocker number 3, lack of clarity. Not knowing what your goals are at every moment is one of the most significant flow blockers, at least for me. It creates overwhelm and increases your stress levels. As a result, you do a lot of busy work, most of which is probably low-value activities. It is a must for you to know what you need to do next so you stay on course. And it is even more critical for your team if you want them to have more flow in their work. So, how clear are you about your direction and the next steps on an average day and week? Assess yourself on the scale of 1 to 10, where 10 means complete clarity. Where are you? If you're under 8, take a piece of paper now and write down what do you want to achieve and list all the steps you need to get there. The more specific you are, the more clarity you have while working on the goal, and the easier it is to get into the flow. That's all from me today. Share below one thing you will do to overcome one or all those flow blockers. I hope it was helpful. See you soon!